on the other side of the table. Blue-White Miracles, 4-color control. Spagnolo's deck is the deck designed by Lou Laskin. One of the cards that Brian Kibler would be happy to see, we were joking about this earlier, Knight of the Reliquary.
Yep. But it looks like Jonathan here is establishing counterbalance, divining top, soft lock. I'm not sure if he has an answer in his hand to that knight. We're going to brainstorm in response to that counterbalance. And in response to brainstorm, we're going to plow the Knight of the Reliquary.
This deck that Nicholas Spagnolo is playing is really interesting. It looks like a mashup of Bug and Maverick, if you look at some of the parts that make it up.
Every card, when we played against Lou, every card he cast was good. There wasn't, I don't know, they weren't necessarily synergistic, but they were good. Counterbalance in, but Pierce Nick is at the ready on his turn with an Abrupt Decay.
5 mana for Nicholas Spagnolo.
If you want to sum up Lou Laskin's decks in a nutshell, there it is right there. Savannah and Underground Sea. There it is. All you need to know about how he builds his decks.
That's awesome.
John spinning his top here.
The 4-color Laskin here looks really exciting to me on the left. Toppy, top, top, top. What you got?
Spinning. Now we know Spagnolo has Abrupt Decay, so he's not too concerned about counterbalance.
Passes it back. Decay you.
Yep. Obviously, this interaction right there, a big game changer in Legacy now with Return to Ravnica in the fold.
I really like it. I think it's a really good effect to have in Legacy.
Yeah, I mean, I think most people are a pretty happy camper, unless you're Joel Lissette or someone else. Most people are probably happier living in a world where Counterbalance is not the best deck in the format. As the rounds go on for a very long time, it's not particularly fun to have your deck locked out for...
I mean, I am pretty sad that it means that I probably won't ever be able to make Stasis work, but, well, you know.
Yeah. Again, if Counterbalance is bad, Stasis is probably one of the few things that's actually worse.
Rest in peace. Boom.
That's it comes into play trigger. I think Spagnolo has Snapcaster Mage in his hand, so he might be able to Snapcaster Abrupt Decay this. I'm not sure how much this deck really cares about Rest in Peace.
Well, I mean, Jonathan Job, does he have the combo kill? He does. He has the Helm of Obedience combo kill. So the Rest in Peace, it does a little bit of work to make the Snapcasters and the Deathrite Shamans worse for Nicholas Spagnolo and the Knights of the Reliquary worse, but then it also can function to create a combo kill in conjunction with Helm of Obedience.
And I think that the deck that Jonathan is playing is very reminiscent of the deck that Caleb Durward did well with at a Legacy Open recently. Blue-white, counterbalance with Energy Fields main, also a combo of Rest in Peace, and then the Rest in Peace combo kill with Helm of Obedience.
So the Rest in Peace dies, and then the trigger happens. All of that stuff is gone. Gone.
Not like in Legacy where the graveyard means it's just kind of still in your hand, actually.
Yeah. Noble Hierarch. So, will Tiago Chan come in for 3 damage?
Let's see here. Brainstorm first. Chase the Mind Sculptor. And that should be...
I don't know about you, but I would just try to run this Jace in there.
Yes. I mean, Jonathan has a little bit, some ability to withstand Fate Sealing.
Ouch.
He's got a Detention Sphere. But you can't leave that Detention Sphere unsolved, right? Because you might get Oh yeah, he's brainstorming. It's like, what happens if you got Fate Sealed? I guess he could just top again in response.
And Nicholas, he's still got pretty strong use out of that. So, I mean, it's not exciting for him, but he's still fine.
He's got more Jaces in as backup as well, so.
Try and, again, see what happens.
Jonathan going to spin top in response. Brainstorm, Terminus, and Scalding Tarn.
Not exciting.
And Spagnola is going to brainstorm again.
If you're just joining us, we're watching round 15 of 16. Nicholas Spagnuolo on the left with a 4-color control deck designed by Lou Laskin, and Jonathan Job on the right with Blue-White Miracles featuring the Helm of Obedience Rest in Peace combo. I'm Adrian Sullivan here with Patrick Sullivan. This is SCG Live. Welcome to the Star City Games Open Series featuring the Invitational here in Los Angeles. It's going to be great magic all weekend. We're wrapping up the final rounds of the Invitational. After this is more standard action for the Standard Open that's happening simultaneously.
I know I just mentioned that when we were briefly talking about this deck, that I couldn't believe that he had basic lands in his deck when we played on Moto. Forget that. How's he fit Wasteland in this deck? I mean, that's just, I guess okay, this build has no basics in it. All right.
It looks like the basics have been cut. Jonathan Job is doing some epic Larb manipulation here. Sensei's Divining Top, crack a fetch land, Brainstorm, crack another fetch land, looking for something good here. He's got to deal with that Jace before the Jace runs away.
And he's just shuffling and digging with his top, trying to find maybe his own Jace, maybe a Detention Sphere or something.
Dig, 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 Jace, 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 Counterspell, Brainstorm, and was that a Dust Bowl? That looked like a Dust Bowl to me. Jonathan Job does have the one in his deck. Dust Bowl's exciting.
Yes. Sometimes seen as a single copy in some of these decks. They have a little bit of room for some colorless utility lands. We're going to see Noble Hierarch before combat.
In for 3. And we're going to see the Jace bury Jonathan, I think.
Yep. Spagnuolo choosing not to Fate Seal, I guess, because just too tough to get that to be like that powerful against someone with access to Sensei's Divining Top. Instead, he's trying to brainstorm, have enough gas to withstand anything that Job might be able to muster. So yeah, it's a pretty awkward spot for Jonathan attempting to use his Divining Top here. He's being attacked from so many different axes, and he always has the threat of Jace's Fate Steel looming. So
now, one of the enemies for both of these players right now, the clock.
yes,
Now, we've seen Nicholas been playing this whole weekend. He plays very quickly, and yet the clock is so low.
yeah, and it's Jonathan, even though at this point he basically has a top 8 berth locked up, the seeding in the elimination rounds very much matters. So he's still trying to shoot for wins here. Spagnuolo, on the other hand, is currently sitting in 4th place at 11-3 going into this round. So a draw is somewhat risky for him, as 34 points is almost certainly not enough for a top 8 berth. So a draw here would have him in danger of losing and missing top 8. Nick Spagnuolo just picked up a copy of Garruk Primal Hunter.
That is amazing.
So
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Garruk Primal Hunter.
Garruk
Oh, look at that. 13 cards he drew yesterday in round 8 with Knight of the Reliquary and Garruk Primal Hunter.
Yes, you are seeing that correctly. Garruk Primal Hunter cast in part off of Underground Sea and Scrubland.
Hey, what you gotta do what you gotta do.
And it's going to be hit with a counterspell, as Jonathan is the enemy of fun. Just can't even...
Standing in the way of fun, counterspell.
Yeah. Has a long history of that. From Shivan Dragon in Lord of the Pit all the way down to Garruk Primal Hunter, counterspell just ruining the fun of people everywhere. Jonathan trying to figure out some way to dig through this weird assortment of threats.
Taking a moment to think. Says go. Nicholas Spagnolo. Untap, upkeep, draw. Another Jace. Activate Jace, draw 3. Put 2 back. Brainstorming.
Green Zenith, Snapcaster Mage, Deathrite Shaman.
In for 3. Jonathan drops to 4. End of the turn. Looks. There's the Helm of Obedience. As well as 2 land, one of them a Dust Bowl.
And even if Job had a second copy, let's say, of Rest in Peace to combo with the Helm, Spagnolo has an Abrupt Decay in his hand, so he would be able to break up that combo.
Make sure that you also check in the conversation at the at SCG Live is the Twitter handle for SCG Live, and the conversation on hashtag SCG Envy. Lots of posts there as people update what's happening.
Spagnolo again brainstorming. Finds an, I guess his Elspeth is lethal. Sure, whatever. Why not? Why not?
Brian Kibler has just alerted everyone that he has defeated goblins with Baneslayer Angel. Legacy, folks.
Elspeth giving Snapcaster Mage flying, backed up by Noble Hierarch, Jace the Mind Sculptor, and Garruk Primal Hunter. Pretty standard 4-color control matchup against Blue-White Miracles.
Now we're looking at time here. 8 minutes and 30 seconds remain for these 2 players. Jonathan playing a very slow deck, and Nicholas, he's a fast player, but he's going to have his work cut out for him.
Yeah, both players still digging here for a win. Jonathan to lock up the first seed for the top 8. Spagnolo at risk. Or was that... It's possible that our...
We might have had the game scores on that incorrect. That might be it. So Spagnolo might have won the match. Looks to me like they could be sideboarding, or they could just be doing that post-match, cleanup.
I mean, there was a handshake. You rarely see the handshake in a mid-match game win, but those cards from Spagnolo might have been so bizarre that Job had no choice but to give him a mid-match handshake.
That is one of those things that sometimes you see. So actually, is that the end of the match? So Nicholas Spagnolo wins 2-0. The spotter had the initial information backwards. But yeah, let's pretend that was the second game. I would be unsurprised by a mid-match handshake. Like, wow, buddy, that was pretty cool. Garruk, Elspeth, Jace.
I mean, Underground Sea, Scrubland, Garruk Primal Hunter is insanity to have appear in the same deck.
So this actually means